Ken, result obviously terrific. What pleased you most about what you just saw?
A really consistent performance off the back of last week, I think. It was really important for us to back up last week's game and then to come out again today. And regardless, again, I said last week, regardless of the result, was about the way we went about it. And today we were again really strong.
Obviously, you had 5,000 here and all the supporters walked out pretty pumped. Because it's still a practice match, how much can they take out of that with that interest that you have beaten the reigning premier?
Oh, NAB Cup performance, it's really hard to know, but all we can take out of it from a club point of view is that we know we've had a solid pre-season, we've been strong through the NAB Cup series, and now we look forward to round one.
Any performances from some guys there that made you rethink what you're doing? I know selection's a little way off, but some guys really put themselves right up for a chance?
Yeah, what they've done has made it a tougher decision for us, to be honest. What I said earlier is that we want a good number of players available, 30, 35 players. We'd like to have them available. And now we're in a position where we've got a good, healthy list who are seems to be in reasonably good form.
Ken, there's still a long way to go. Where do you think you can improve?
Oh, lots of areas. We've got lots of stuff that we can still improve on. Our defence, we can still improve in our defensive work, our structure that we do, and some of our stoppage stuff today was at times a little bit off. And then, our ball use. I think if a typical coach is always going to say there's areas to improve on, and we need to keep going because we're coming from a long way back.
One of the focus that you're talking about during the week was tackling. You must have been happy with that today.
Yep. Really proud of the way the boys, played against a really strong seasoned side in Sydney who have been known for their tackling, and we knew it was going to be a great contest. That's what we thought last week against West Coast. That's why they're top sides. They bring it every week, and we needed to match them. As
the scoreboard would suggest, you also had a lot of good players today. Who do you think stepped up the most today? Stepped up to the plate?
I'm boring, and I like to talk about the team. I like to say how well the team played, and there was a number of players who played great team roles, and none better than probably the captain, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean the emerging players, there are quite a few that stepped up.
Yeah, look, we took our younger boys off at half time too, planned to take them off, and they were good in the first half, and Sam Colquhoun kept going in the second half. Mitchell come on and had an influence. There's a significant number of players, Campbell Heath, Lewis Stevenson, the newer players, and they have to fit into a new club, and they've done that pretty well.
Ken, much concern over John Butcher's hand?
Oh yeah, there's a little concern. He's got a knock to the hand. It may be cracked, it may not be, but I was just talking to the doctors just now, and it was more about that if it is, it's one of those ones that you play with quite quickly, so it's not likely for him to miss round one, I don't think, at this stage.
Does he get a pass mark in pre-season and the whole summer?
Yep. Yeah, no, we know we've had a really strong pre-season, and as I said, regardless of the results, we've worked at our pre-season really strongly as a club, and we've made some inroads.
The ruck situation, we can't pick it, whether you're happy to run with 2 of them or maybe 3 of them. How do you see it panning out? Are you happy with it?
Yeah, no, it's... look, we're just happy that, again, like I said before, we've got rucks in form, and big Brent Renouf coming back and having a half a game last night, and he'll play another full game this week. So we're in a healthy position, which we need to be, because this game is really brutal.
So I just touched on it before with the fans, but after a win like that, what do you tell the players? Like, is there any sort of concern that they get ahead of themselves?
No, look, we review on a weekly basis on what we plan to go into the game with. We have focuses that we go into the game, and we'll review it the same way. The players know that. They know what I'm like already, I think, and we won't get carried away. As I said, we're coming from a long way back, so all we got to do is be ready for round one. Now we've got Melbourne at round one, and they're another desperate club like us, and it's going to be a good game.
You talked about during the week as well, hardening the players up over the summer, trying to harden them up. Last year, obviously, the club went in leading at 3/4 time against the Swans and then let it go in the last quarter. How do you stop that from happening this year? What's the key?
Probably don't talk about last year too much. We talk about what we're doing this year, and so far as the last couple of weeks, we've been challenged in both games, and we've been really strong at the end, which is good.
But to be able to harden them up considerably over one summer, what's the key to be able to do that?
Their want, I reckon. Their want as a group, as a collective, wanting to be better than they were. They know as a group of players that they have to improve, and so far they've been doing a good job at showing that they're prepared to do whatever it takes.
Ken, when you came to the club, the players were at a certain level, or the club was at a certain level. Has it surprised you how far or how much they've improved since then, or are you happy with the achievements so far?
Look, I'm only going to judge on what I've seen and what I've looked at, and I couldn't be more pleased at the moment about the way they've gone about it. These boys, for their pre-season, they deserve a pat. On the pat on the back about the way they've gone about it. they've got results because of the way they've worked in the NAB Cup, and I stress it's in the NAB Cup. It's not home and away football, so it's, you know, we know there's some things that fluctuate a little bit in that part of the season, so we're not going to worry about that too much, other than know that, as I said, what we focused on going into each game, whether we did or didn't do that well, we've been able to review that, and that's the way we'll do it again.
What do you think of Tom Jonas on Goods? Only had one touch in the first quarter, obviously got away from him a bit in the second, but I think 7 in the last half. It was a pretty decent performance on a 2-time Brownlow medalist.
Yeah, and we know Goodsy was coming back off, you know, he only had a little game, half a game last week, another, you know, he's a great player, and Tommy, to get an experience to play on him is great, and that's the main important thing for him, is he got to play on a different type of player. Last week he played on Lacra, and this week he plays on Goods, so, you know, he's getting some good experience, and that'll hold him in good stead for the season, because there'll be some challenges around.
Thanks, Ken.
Appreciate it.